We have such a good section to read tonight. We have such a good section. And a little bit of, oh, you're going to like this so much. A little bit of history and context, although I do want to talk about most of the history and context after we read. It's not long. We have 24 verses that you're going to love so much. I'll do history and context after, but a little preface is Joseph is back in Missouri. He's been in Ohio for a long time, but there is a team of leaders in Missouri trying to build up and establish what could be a town for the saints to go to. So we have people trying to start stores, find land, all of that stuff. That's still happening in Missouri. And Joseph, well, I guess I'll just say it now. I guess I'll just tell you all of the history and context now. Where we are in the timeline of things is that Joseph and Sidney Rigdon, a month previous, they were ripped from their houses. They were beaten, brutally beaten, left naked in fields, tarred and feathered. The opposition that we are familiar with, they are in the thick of it. And so does that make what we're about to read a little more impactful? I think yes, because if you put into context that Joseph and Sidney were just ripped out of their own houses, that their clothes were ripped off, that they were beaten senseless, that they would black out. They were left for dead, I would want to say, and the counsel we're going to hear, although very, very good, uplifting message on its own that we would want to pull from. It's very interesting that this is the counsel to them while they are in the thick of brutality, of beatings, of abuse. And the message from Jesus Christ is this. So the context being, this is where Joseph is right now in things. Also, they're in Missouri still trying really hard to get Zion going. That's their biggest goal. Still trying to figure out like the United firm, trying to deal with poverty problems, they're just trying to start. They receive counsel to do things, and they're trying to figure out how to do those things. So a lot of the times when we see the trial and error of Joseph and the early saints and the early leadership, I believe that it's just because, like us in our own lives, God tells us to do things, but sometimes he doesn't tell us how to do those things. And so he is told to build up a church and to establish Zion and to do all of these things. And now they're just trying to figure out how are they to do those things. So that is where we're coming from. And so now see if what we're about to read holds any more weight to it, knowing where we are in the history of things. So we're in section 82. Yes, a very good standalone section you will love so much just on its own, but see if you love it even more knowing what we just talked about. All right, here we go. Verily, verily, I say unto you, my servants, that inasmuch as you have forgive one another your trespasses, even so I, the Lord, forgive you. Nevertheless, there are those among you who have sinned exceedingly, yea, even all of you have sinned. But verily I say unto you, beware from henceforth, and refrain from sin, lest sore judgments fall upon your heads. For of him unto whom much is given, much is required. Is that true when we see what they are experiencing now, Joseph, Sidney leadership, the abuse, the brutality? For of him unto whom much is given, much is required. And he who sins against the greater light shall receive the greater condemnation. Call upon my name for revelations. And I give unto them you, and inasmuch as as ye keep my sayings, which I give unto you, ye become transgressors, and justice and judgment are the penalty which is affixed unto my law. Therefore, what I say unto one, I say unto all. Watch, for the adversary spreadeth his dominions, and darkness reigneth. We'll come back to that. And the anger of God kindleth against the inhabitants of the earth, and none doeth good. For all have gone out of the way. And now verily I say unto you, I, the Lord, will not lay any sin to your charge. Go your ways, and sin no more. Have we heard that before in the scriptures? Yes, we have heard that too. Oh my gosh. More than half the people in the scriptures. No, that's not a true statistic, but a lot. Okay. Go your ways. Sin no more. But unto the soul who sinneth shall the former sins return, saith the Lord your God. And again I say unto you, I give unto you a new commandment, that you may understand my will concerning you. I'll come back to that too. Or in other words, I give unto you directions, how you may act before me, that it may turn to you for your salvation. I, the Lord, am bound when ye do what I say. But when you do not what I say, ye have no promise. Therefore, verily I say unto you that it is expedient for my servants Edward Partridge, Newell K. Whitney, Sidney Gilbert, Sidney Rigdon, my servant Joseph Smith, John Whitmer, Oliver Cowdery, W. Phelps, and Martin Harris, to be bound together by a bond and covenant that cannot be broken by transgression, except judgment shall immediately follow in your several stewardships. 2. Manage the affairs of the poor, all things pertaining to the bishopric, both in the land of Zion and in the land of Kirtland, Ohio, Missouri. I have consecrated the land of Kirtland in my own due time for the benefits of the saints of the Most High, for the sake of Zion. For Zion must increase in beauty and in holiness. Her borders must be enlarged. Her stakes must be strengthened. Yea, verily, I say unto you, Zion must arise and put on her beautiful garments. Wherefore I give unto you this commandment, that you bind yourselves by this covenant, that it shall be done according to the laws of the Lord. Behold, here is wisdom, also in me for your good. And you are to be equal, or in other words, that you are to have equal claims on the properties of the benefit of managing the concerns of your stewardship, every man according to his wants and his needs, inasmuch as his wants are just. And all this for the benefit of the church of the living God, that every man may improve upon his talent, that every man may gain other talents, yea, even 100-fold, to be cast into the Lord's storehouse, to become the common property of the whole church, every man seeking the interest of his neighbor, and doing all things with an eye single to the glory of God. This order I have appointed to be everlasting order unto you, and unto your successors, insomuch as you sin not. And the soul that sins against this covenant, and hardeneth his heart against it, shall be dealt with according to the laws of my church, and shall be delivered over the bufferings of Satan, until the day of redemption. And now verily I say unto you, this is wisdom. Make to yourselves friends with the mammon of our unrighteousness, and they will not destroy you. Leave judgment alone with me, for it is mine, and I will repay. Peace be unto you. My blessings continue with you. And for even yet, the kingdom is yours, and shall be forever, if you fall not from your steadfastness, even so, amen. Let me tell you where exactly you are in this scripture. I will tell you how I underlined it, and see if you can decode even more direct message for you, to you. Okay, ready? For unto whom much is given, much is required. Call upon my name for revelations. Watch for the adversary. Go your ways, sin no more. You may understand my will concerning you. So if there is confusion right now, if you are not understanding what you should be doing, what he expects of you, what he has for you, he's saying that it doesn't have to be that way. You can and should be receiving understanding to those things, to you, about you, from him. Because I give unto you directions. What are they? Are we listening? Are we asking? Are we confused? We shouldn't be. If we are, he can fix that. That's what he just said. Whatever those directions are for you, turn for your salvation. I, the Lord, am bound when you do what I say. I have consecrated the land of Kirtland. We talked about this in previous sections. Wherever you are, he has consecrated. In my own due time must arise. Here is wisdom for your good. All of this for the benefit. A living God. Improve upon your talent. Gain other talents. 100-fold. Doing all things with an eye single to the glory of God. This is wisdom. Peace be with you. My blessings, they continue with you, which is a powerful reality, but is even more powerful for the times like Joseph is going through right now, where you are literally dragged out, when life is just dragging you in the ground, where we just feel beaten upon by circumstances that in those heavy moments where we are brought to the ground, dragged out of our comfort zones, his message to you is one of peace. His message to you is one of a greater perspective, that the kingdom, it's yours. Which means whatever you are going through right now is not in vain. That he is mindful. That this is wisdom to remember. That, yeah, maybe he's asking a much of us. That much may be required. But he is bound. He can't break his promise to you. Even with situations going from bad to worse to even worse. Even with passing time. Even with continued uncharted, unwanted, unexpected. The blessings and the promises given to us, they are ours. They're ours. He is bound. Which means everything we are going through is not in vain. And we do and we will receive. And in those moments, to remember him saying, be at peace. I am yours. I have it here for you. Those greater things are here for you, created for you, waiting for you. There is much to pull from these little things. We can go on so many different tangents with all of these different verses talking about a whole lot of things. I, the Lord, forgive you. I mean, the first 2 chapters, we can go on a whole tangent just on forgiveness. We can go on tangents about watching for the adversary. Can we recognize him? We talk about how to recognize God, and on the contrary, how to better recognize the adversary. Anything that is not good is not of God. So pay attention to your thoughts. Is the adversary in your thoughts right now? Are you having bad thoughts? Because if it is bad, it is not God. And if it is not God, it is not truth. It is not reality. So any feelings that you are not good enough, why bother? Why keep going? I can't, I'm not worth it. I'm not worthy. Those are not good, therefore not of God, therefore not truth, therefore not reality. We can go on tangents about anything in my own due time, referencing maybe passing time. There's lots. If you want to go on your own personal whatever, you can. Maybe if any of those many themes of verses stuck out to you, maybe that's the Spirit saying, hey, there's a message for you in there. Go back and read it. We're in section 82. Anyways, enjoy listening, friends. Not to me or these videos, but enjoy listening to your reoccurring thoughts. And enjoy listening and exploring those thoughts that you might have had too. That is a nudge and a pull from the Spirit. Follow those paths. There are great messages for you in them. I will see you tomorrow.